Okay, so we're now going to discuss how to convert percentages into fractions. Now, remembering that percent means per 100, so if 14% of the population like ice cream, it means that 14 out of each 100 like ice cream, or 14 hundredths of the population like ice cream. Similarly and simplistically, 28 out of 200, i.e. 28 200ths, or 42 out of 300, i.e. 42 300ths, or 140 out of 1,000, i.e. 140 1,000ths would like ice cream. So, how do we change percentages into fractions? Well, to write a percentage as a fraction, we simply write the percentage value over 100 and simplify if possible. For example, our 14% figure. Well, let's see how we convert that into a simplified fraction. Well, we take our 14% and we write the value 14 divided by 100, and you'll note we now drop the percentage sign, and then we simplify. So in this case we can divide the top and bottom by 2 to give 7 on the top and 50 on the bottom. So our result, 14%, is equivalent to 7/50ths. As a second example, if we want to convert 25% into a fraction, well, we write the 25 over 100, we drop the percentage sign, and then we look to see how we can simplify this fraction. Well, we're looking for the common denominator of 25 and 100, and that's 25, so we divide the top by 25 to give 1 and the bottom by 25 to give 4. So in other words, 25% is equivalent to 1/4. As another example, and in this case where the percentage contains a decimal number, in this case 15.4%. Well, here, after writing the percentage value over 100, as we did before, and before simplifying, we make the numerator into a whole number. So, we take our 15.4, write it over 100, and then, before simplifying, we make the numerator into a whole number. Now in this case, we had 15.4, so to turn it into a whole number, we must multiply the numerator by 10. If we multiply the numerator by 10, we must also multiply the denominator by 10. Now we can simplify, and looking at this, if we divide the top and the bottom by 2, we end up with 77 and 500. So in other words, we have divided by 2 on the denominator and divided by 2 on the numerator. Now, decimal percentages like 15.4% here are tricky, so you must take extra care when working with them. As another example, what about converting half of 1% to a fraction? So, when the percentage is a fraction, here's what we do. We simplify the fraction if we can, first, and then we multiply the denominator by 100. So here we've taken our fraction of a half and multiplied the denominator 2 by 100. Then we multiply out the denominator, so we've got 1 200th, and we would simplify that if we could. We don't need to. So, if a 0.5% of the population likes mint flavoured ice cream, this means 1 out of every 200 people like this flavour. In other words, 1/2 for each 100, therefore 1 for each 200. Now, percentages between 0 and 1% can also be tricky, so you need to be especially careful with them as well. So, our last example is where we have the percentage as a mixed number, in this case 7.5%. And what we do here is we convert the mixed number into an improper fraction, and then we multiply the denominator by 100 before simplifying. So 7.5% is changed into 15/2. In other words, it becomes an improper fraction. We then multiply the denominator 2 by 100. We'll multiply that out, so we've got 15/200, and then we simplify. In this case, we look for the highest common factor of the 15 and the 200, which is 5. So we divide the top by 5 to give 3 and the bottom by 5 to give 40, hence 3/40ths. Now, don't forget to complete your WSQ notes, including a good summary, and we'll see you in class to do some exercises.